Hey, what's up, world? Stephen A. Smith. I was checking you out, my brother. I see what you just said, but let me give you a little game. One, you can't tell a man what to fight for. Two, us as blacks, we never had this moment. And I've heard that from people that's been fighting for us to be equal for 50 plus years. I've heard out their mouth say, we've never had this moment. So why not take advantage of it? Maybe Kyrie understands this moment. We've never had this moment, so we got to take advantage of it. There's no way a game is more important than police killing us. Yeah, it's been going on a long time, Stephen A. Yeah, it's been going on a long time. But how long are we going to continue to let it go on? How long are we going to be comfortable with just existing? I know it's higher ups that's talking. A black man shouldn't be saying that.
Stephenjackson, my brother, nothing but love for you. Let me say that out off the bat. You know I got love for you. We go back a long ways, and we're going to continue to go back a long ways, my brother. Mad love and respect to you. And my heart goes out to you and all the loved ones for George Floyd for what happened to him. I know that hits home for you. It hit home for a lot of us, but for you in special ways without question. Having said all of that, you told me you was going to hit me to the game. Let me hit you to some game. I disagree with Kyrie. I ain't changing one bit. And please don't tell me what a black man should say, because a black man should speak his mind, particularly with intelligence and knowledge if he has it. You have it. I believe I have some of it. I believe in this instance, even though Kyrie Irving is a knowledgeable and good brother, in this instance, I don't think he displayed his knowledge about this. You know about the force majeure provision in the collective bargaining agreement for the NBA. You know that if the NBA season gets canceled, they can reopen talks and ultimately players are going to lose billions. You know about the tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of jobs across the NBA landscape that's going to be lost if an NBA season doesn't resume. You know what kind of catastrophic effect that could potentially have on the economy. Now, I understand we're going to look at it and we're going to say desperate times call for desperate measures. Somehow, some way, this got to change. I agree with you. But what is that change? Because guess what? I heard it from you, Stephenjackson, watching you on CNN, talking about legislation on Capitol Hill, talking about how you didn't want to go see the president, talking about you ain't trying to be no photo op, that you want to raise awareness like LeBron and so many others are doing, and then hand that baton to somebody who knows what to do with it. That's what I'm talking about. I mentioned that when I talked on First Take this morning about how about raising awareness and then reaching out to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, who's already put in that groundwork with consent decrees that they negotiated with the city of Newark and Baltimore and Ferguson, Missouri, and beyond to make sure that the Justice Department had negotiated a deal in concert with police departments to hold police officers accountable. I'm the person that went on the air and called for federal legislation that it be designated a federal hate crime for a police officer to shoot and kill unarmed black men. How about addressing the issue of dudes that are incarcerated and then get out for nonviolent crimes? How about expunging their records instead of holding it against them when they apply for a job and keeping it on their application? All of these things are relevant, my brother. You alluded to some of it on CNN. You know how I feel about your brother, Matt Barnes. I didn't hear that from Kyrie. All Kyrie said was systemic racism. I ain't down for it. I ain't playing. That's not good enough. You got to have a plan when you planning on not showing up to work to do your job. And it can't be just racial oppression vaguely. You got to be specific, bro. I stand by what I said. I meant every word I said. I'm not backing up, bro. You know me better than that. But I appreciate you. I appreciate the love and respect that you always show. All I would ask is you do the same for me. Don't ever assume that higher-ups are talking. Not out of my mouth, dog. I talk for me. Ain't nobody putting this in my mouth. And in terms of what a black man should say, this black man is preaching about the importance of having a game plan and executing that bad boy. Not just whistling into the wind about what we don't like. I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm not saying the protesters are out there doing that. I'm saying Kyrie did it with just that blanket statement as to why he did not want to play. I stand by what I said. You know I ain't budging. But I love you, bro.
Hello, everyone. This is Al Kabir, the analyst, and today I will be talking Stephen A. Smith versus Stephen Jackson. Right, folks? Stephen A. Smith versus Stephen Jackson. And how I really don't like this one. I really don't like reporting on this one. I really like both of these guys. And these guys, they fighting over the same cause: systemic racism. Stephen Jackson believes we should just cancel the NBA season for the year and keep fighting for the cause. And Stephen A. Smith believes that canceling the season is not going to stop systematic racism, and which I agree with both guys. But this is Al Kabir, the analyst. So first and foremost, let me go over Stephen Jackson's point. Stephen Jackson knew George Floyd personally. That was his guy. Stephen Jackson really want to keep fighting for the movement. He believes, Kyrie believes, all of this is going to end, or people are going to forget about it because entertainment is on, because basketball is on, and people are going to forget about the cause. Remember in my last video, when I had the Kyrie versus LeBron, I was saying that, yes, LeBron had a point about starting the NBA, but it's just going to be a pregame thing. Yes, he's going to have the I Can't Breathe shirt and things like that, but that's pregame. Once the game starts, people are going to forget about it. And that's the point Stephen Jackson is making, is that, yeah, it's going to be all this and all that. We're going to talk about it pregame, but this the most momentum we ever had. So take it while we have it now. Now, Stephen A. Smith, he made a great point. Like, okay, Kyrie put out a statement that he wants to not play because of, once again, systematic racism. But Stephen A. Smith is like, okay, what do you want them to change immediately? Because this been going on for 400 years with the police, the black people killing unarmed black men. That's not going to change overnight. What exactly do you want the NBA to change immediately? Do you want them to donate more money? Do you want them to have programs where it's more black execs, black GMs? What exactly do you want them to change immediately? And I agree with Stephen A. Smith with that. Okay, we sit out, but for what cost? You're costing a lot of people their jobs, and not just the athletes, but the black sports analysts, YouTubers like me that talks about sports, other higher ups. So you basically causing whites and blacks their jobs. That's billions of dollars are being lost around the board. So what is the fight for? Once again, the famous bus boycott by Martin Luther King. Stop getting on the bus, and the reason why for the cost is so we can sit wherever we want. And that worked out. So that was the end goal to that. But what is the end goal to sitting out, not playing the NBA anymore? And I feel Stephen A. on that. But once again, Stephen Jackson, he in this personally, he lost a good friend. He believed the NBA should sit out. This is the most momentum we ever had. But Stephen A. Smith, once again, what is the plan? What is the end goal? Because this is not going to end overnight. And salute to both of these guys. I like both of them on All the Smoke. Believe they were just talking Stephen A. Smith career. And hopefully these guys really talk it out, like Stephen A. said. Hopefully they catch up, talk it out, and be on the best of terms again. But what do you think? Do you agree with Stephen A. Smith, or do you believe with Stephen Jackson? Should we just cancel the NBA and protest? Or what Stephen A. Smith was saying, the NBA should continue, and we could continue protesting as well. But this is Al Kabir, the analyst, and I am Ghost.